Hello everyone, good morning. The continuation of last session. Okay, just recap whatever we have discussed here. What is domain and technology? So what are the domains we do have available? So the domains which it is available like, okay, BFS, ecom, okay, healthcare,
Travels,
yes, travels, etc. Okay. Technology is nothing but it's like a technology which we are going to use it in your project. So that is called technology. So that is moreover, here we are using technologies MuleSoft. Next, we have discussed some key points with the Azure DevOps, how to log in and how to create sample user stories. Okay, how to add the users, how to create an organization, those kind of things. Okay, we have discussed about yesterday. And we have discussed about project documentation or project requirements. Okay, so how you will get the requirements and the requirement documentation we have discussed. Okay, moreover, anyway, I'm going to give you brief idea on today. Okay, again, so what is user story? So user story is nothing but a requirement. It's like a task which you are going to work. User story is nothing but task or requirement. So we will give you this requirements. Okay, so as we are following the agile methodology, in this agile we are going to get the requirements from, so requirements, I'll keep it as requirements. Guys, please go on mute. So requirements, you'll get it from PO, product owner, observe carefully, product owner. From product owner to BA, BA is nothing but business analyst. I'll show you the requirements here. See what BA will do. BA is going to prepare the user stories, okay, as per the PO. PO is nothing but product owner, okay. See, this is one sample user story. So how we are going to write sample user story? Just observe here. As a customer, I want to log in into my account using card and PIN code so that I can perform the transactions. This is the requirement, guys. Okay, this is the requirement. Then what is acceptance criteria? Acceptance criteria is nothing but the expectation. Okay, the expectation. System must validate the card and PIN code in case customer enters the wrong pin code, okay, 3 times, then system get locked or card get locked. Okay. So this is the requirement and this is the expectation. Okay. Just I'll copy paste in the down. So this is one user story. So who is going to write first user story? The first user story is going to write BA. See here, there is no technical terms. There is no technical terms. Just observe here. Okay. Now from BA, I'll write it like this so that you will get it understand clearly. Okay. So from BA, architect. Okay. Architect. See, mostly architect only. So not technical lead. Okay. So sometimes these two guys are going to involve. Okay. On top of this user story, on top of this user story, they are going to prepare. They are going to prepare. Okay. Project architect. Project architecture. See, this user story. I mean, in this document, do we have any technical terms like RAML and MuleSoft and those kind of things? Do we have any? No. This is like the BA is going to prepare. See, as a customer, they need this kind of requirement. But just observe. So how on the below, how BA, sorry, how architect is going to prepare user story? I'll show you here. Where is my user stories? See, always whenever you are going to write, suppose if it is a customer, he is going to write as a customer, I want to do something. Next, as a as an architect, as an architect, as an architect, I want to design project architecture. Okay, he will create one user story like this. Okay, suppose if you are a developer, okay, how to write an user story? Guys, please go on mute. As an architect, I want to design project architecture based on the requirements. Suppose if you are a developer, as a developer, I want to design, okay, I want design or develop the project or requirements. Okay, develop the project based on the requirements. Suppose if you are a QA person, okay, we have a tester, right? As a QA, I want to test the application. Test the application based on the requirement. So like this, we are going to write the very first line. Okay. So it should be always the user stories will get start with as an architect, as a developer, as a technical lead, as a QA, as an admin. Okay. Something will be like this. We need to write it. Okay. Anyway, I have prepared all the user stories. Okay. So before going to, before going to add all the user stories into ADO board, you want to know what is user story. So how requirements will get, how business analyst is going to write the user stories, and how technical lead is or architect is going to write user stories. Okay. So now just observe here. So this is our project. So how many user stories are there? There are 7 user stories as BA written. Okay. There are 7 requirements. Out of this 7, okay, based on, I mean, based on this out of 7 or 5, whatever it is, what architect will do, architect is going to write an user story. Okay. As an architect, I want to design the project flow based on the requirement. Okay. There are 2 user stories. Let me go to ADO. So in order to log in with the ADO board, dev.azure.com, click on this start free, enter your Microsoft account name and your password. Okay. This is our project. Here, left side, we do have boards. Click on work items or backlogs. So anything is fine. So in the backlogs, we do have only 2 items. Okay, let me delete all the items here. See here, we do have an option like, okay, delete option also. You can delete. See, normally first BA is going to write, BA, business analyst is going to write all these user stories into ADO. So based on this ADO, based on this document or user stories. So I'll start from here, guys. Okay, I'll start from here, architect or technical lead. Okay. So what architect will do, just observe here, new work item. See, normally, see, it is a trial version. So here it is showing as a task or issue. If it is a paid version, here you can able to see user story. Okay. User story or a different kind of things. Okay. There is a different color it will come. Anyway, so you can consider this one is issue. Okay. You can consider as this is one of the user story. So what you need to do, just copy paste here. Just to copy this also. Based on the requirement document. Okay. This document, so what you can do. So here we do have an option like, okay, attachments. If you observe here, so you can attach you can attach the documentation here. Okay. So based on this documentation, what I need to do, I need to prepare project architecture. This is one of the user story. Okay. Now, another one is I need to prepare database model. Over here. What is the description? As an architect, I want to design database model for the project. Okay. So it is not yet assigned. It is not yet assigned. Let me create 2 more user stories. See, anyway, I'm going to share this document with you guys. Okay. So whatever the task is assigned with you, you have to work on this in the background. Anyway, I'm going to explain everything in a class timings. Don't worry about that. See, now we do have only the user stories, the BA user stories within a verbal. Okay. So here what architect will do, he is going to, okay, there are 2 user stories, right? There are 2 user stories. Okay, let me add 2 more. Let me add 2 more. And design. Okay, I'll add the design. As a developer, I want to design RAML based on the below requirements. Okay. Okay, you can consider there are 3 user stories. So which one is the first priority? So this one, right? So in the backlog grooming, so what we will do, everyone will attend this meeting and we are going to discuss about these user stories. Now, in the grooming itself, they will assign the user stories. Okay. Suppose you can consider Ravi. Okay. You can consider Ravi is an architect. I'm going to assign this with him. And next one. So this one also I'm going to assign here. This one I'm going to assign with, suppose, Srikanth. Okay. So this design, create a REST API for customer account creation and all. Okay. Still we don't have any information here. Okay. So this is not an high priority. Okay. These two are the high priority first. So project architecture. So the effort, how much time it is required. Okay. So it required 3 days or 4 days. Okay. So I'm going to give you the story points here. So how we are going to give the story points? Okay. The story points always, it will be story points. It will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. It's like a Fibonacci series. Every user story you can consider as 1 day. 1 day equal to 1 user story point. Okay. 1 point. And how many hours you have to work? 6 hours. Okay. Something will be like this. So total sprint. How many days? Sprint will start. Okay. Sometimes Wednesday and it will get ends on Tuesday. It will be 14 days. See, that is again depends on your organization. 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks mostly. The sprint. Okay. So here we are in a architect, right? Okay. In the architect means okay, the see analysis. Okay, let me show you here. See, the requirements gathering is done. So the PO and BA has already given the user stories, and the user story documents. We do have 7 user stories. Now, what your architect and technical lead is doing, they are doing analysis and design in the background. Okay. Analysis and design. Okay. See, design is not started. Okay. They are doing analysis. You are technical lead or architect. Okay. Now we are in a analysis phase. Now we are in an analysis phase. So as part of analysis, what your architect, a technical lead will do, okay? They will sit, okay? They will again talk with the product owner and BA if they have any doubts. Okay, based on this documentation, okay, I'll show you. Based on this user story, okay, based on this user story, now if the work is started, we need to change the status as doing, okay? Just observe here. Now your architect is working on project architecture. So how the project architecture will be, I'll show you here. What your architect will do, based on the documentation or based on user stories, he will come up with an architecture. This is our project architecture, okay? See, now we don't have the time to, okay, now we don't have that much of time to draw this diagram. So that is the reason in the background, I have done this. I have done this. So what is happening here? Just observe. So before going to work start, so based on the documentation, the user is expecting, okay? So there is a front-end application. So from front end, so here we can observe, okay, this is for front end. So here we do have, it's a middleware. This is a backend. Observe carefully. From front end, they are going to send the request to MuleSoft. Okay, in the MuleSoft, we are going to design our APIs. So based on the documentation, so I have designed. Okay, how many APIs we need to create. Okay, so it's like a draft version. It's like a draft version, the initial version which I have prepared. Create account, REST API, deposit API, withdraw API, card block and unblock API. See, all this data is going to store into Snowflake. Okay. See, anyway, here you can see MS SQL, but anyway, in the architecture, we are not going to use it. Maybe going forward, we are going to use MS SQL. See, first, yeah, try to understand the architecture. So whenever you joined into any organization, right, what is your project architecture? Okay. So this is one of the simple architecture, guys. Okay. One of the simple architecture, which we are going to develop our APIs or develop our MuleSoft project. Okay. So here we do have a customer. So customer first, he's going to interact with the web page. Okay. Web page. So that is called front end team. So front end, they are going to use. So there is a separate team, or in your same team, there will be different persons. They are going to develop web pages. Okay. They're going to develop web pages. So from here, the request will come. From here, the request will come. So where we are involving, so up to this part, you are going to involve. So this part, you are not going to involve. This part, you are not going to involve. Okay. This part, you are not going to involve. So based on this requirement, based on this requirements, see, based on this requirements, so what architect will do? See, there is no API names here. There is no technology. There is no database names. Okay. Based on just verbal, based on the verbal thing. Okay. Just like a words. Okay. Customer doesn't know whether you are using create API or withdrawal API or whatever it is. So based on this documentation, So what architect will do? He will analyze, okay? He will analyze and how the system is going to work and what are the technologies we need to use, okay? What are the APIs we need to use, okay? Those kind of things he is going to prepare, okay? He is going to prepare. So once he prepared, what he will do? He will attach project architecture diagram here, okay? That is how we can track, right? Okay. So just observe. I have completed project architecture. Project architecture. Please go through it or please review. Okay. Please do review it. So like this, you will write one comment. You will write one comment. Just let me take a snap. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to explain everything. So once the work is done, he is going to attach here and he will ask for a review. Okay. So your client is ViTech. Okay. Just you are mentioning, you are giving at the rate. So if you give at the rate, you can able to see all the people, okay, which you are working into your organization are related to this project. Okay. He will send it for a review. See now, this is how everyone, okay. So anyone can go to this user story, and they can say this. So that is the beauty of ADO. That is the beauty of ADO. So it's not in your local system. Okay. Everyone can see this architecture. So now, as soon as if you have mentioned, right, okay, at the rate VI technologies, so the mail will get triggered. See, if you go to your mailbox, see, automatically the mail will get triggered. See, VI technologies mentioned you in the issue 5, project architecture, ATM transactions, view work item. So what it will do, automatically, it will go to that work item. Okay. See, automatic email is going to generate as soon as if you mention the particular person name. Okay. Now, we are in a analysis and design phase. Now I'll go through this documentation. I mean, go through this project architecture. So here we do have front end and middleware and back end here. So front end, there's a separate team. They're going to develop the web pages based on the requirement. So now our scope is from here to here. Just try to understand. So here in the MuleSoft, we need to prepare. Okay, we need to prepare create account REST API. So this is the first API, then deposit API, withdraw API, block and unblock. So here there are 2 APIs we need to develop. Okay. Or 2 resource path, only 1 API. Okay. 2 resource path, 1 API. Next, these APIs are going to interact with Snowflake database. In our project, we are going to use, what is the database? We are going to use Snowflake. So anyway, there is no connection with MS SQL. Okay. Maybe going forward, there might be some actions you need to do. So that is the reason we are keeping here. Okay. Now, apart from APIs, what you need to develop? Okay, 1 minute. I'll come to scheduler part later. Okay, something is okay, fine. So if you talk about create API, so the user will send the information like I have prepared data model also. See, this is the data model. So the user from front end, you are going to get the customer name, customer account number, ATM PIN, bank name, account type, IFSC code, total balance, Okay. Account status, mail ID, phone number. Okay. These are the details will come from front end. Okay. These are the input for the API. So what is the input? This is the input. See, it's an architect phase. Okay. It's like the project design. Okay. Project design. So this is our data model. So here we do have two tables. One is for bank transactions and customer address. So here we do have customer ID and here also customer ID. So it's a primary key concept. Okay. See, the customer details are storing in a different table. So whenever it is required, based on this primary key, we are going to fetch those. Okay. There is a relationship between these two tables, one to many. Okay. One to many. Okay, fine. Or one to one, whatever it is. So this is our input. So this is how we need to store the data. Now you can consider the very first step, send input. What it will do, it will insert the data and it will give the response. Either it is success or error message. You are going to display with the front end. Okay, you are going to return this. So if you observe here, there is one dotted line. There is one dotted line. It is connected with email for success. See, whenever you are going to successfully create an account, you need to send an email. Okay, we need to send an email. This is the fifth step. So automatic email is going to generate. So whenever you have created an account, automatic email has to generate for the customer. So that is one user story or one task. Okay, next. So these are all technical, guys. Okay, these are all technical. So business user stories are done. Now these are all technical architecture. So here we do have. So this is our source. So what is the source? Source is from front end. Target is our Snowflake database or any database. So in between we are here. Okay, in between MuleSoft is there. MuleSoft is going to take care these operations. Now coming to deposit. So as soon as if you want to deposit an amount from front end, the request will come. So what you need to do, you need to add the logic, okay, deposit logic, and you are going to insert into Snowflake again, request and response. So as soon as if you deposit amount successfully, so what you need to do in the front end, okay, in the front end, you are going to display the message, okay, successfully the amount is deposited. The same way, so if you observe, there is one dotted line. Also, you will get some SMS, right? Okay. So instead of SMS, so what we are going to do, we are going to generate an email. Okay. So and so date and time you have deposited 5,000 or 6,000. Okay. Everything will be notified here. Suppose if you do withdraw, you are going to notify via email. Okay. Next, suppose you lost your card. You lost your card in somewhere. So you want to block your card. So as soon as if you block, right? Okay. As soon as if you block your card, we are going to generate one email like, okay, my card is blocked. My card is blocked. Suppose you want to unblock. So the request will come from front end. So here, instead of front end, what we are going to use? So we are going to use Postman or Thunder client in this place, okay, for testing purpose, okay. So later they are going to integrate Postman or Thunder client. Anyway, once we start actual work, you will get to know. Okay, just try to understand the architecture. Next. So you need to prepare some APIs. As per the success response, we are going to send automatic emails. So this is one part. Next. Let me clear the drawings. Okay. I hope Up to this part, you are clear. Now, so in the meetings also, what your architect will do. So he will explain pin to pin, okay, how it is going to happen. So that time you have to listen carefully so that you can able to design or develop your APIs very quickly. So if you understand the architecture of your project, then the work will be very easy. Next. So whenever you get a doubt, right? I mean, while doing your work, you can contact your architect or technical lead always. Or in your daily Scrum meetings also, you can contact with them. So that is fine. So in the single go, at least we have to understand. This is simple diagram. I mean, simple architecture, everyone can understand, but some architectures, it will be little bit complex. So that time, at least you have to understand 70%. Okay, what is your source system? What is the target system? Okay, here, this is our source and this is our target. Okay, something will be like, so sometimes the data will come from different system, not from front end. Okay, so here the data is coming from front end and we are taking the data and we are inserting into Snowflake and we are taking the data from Snowflake and we are returning into front end. Something will be like this. That is up to your project. Now, apart from REST APIs, there is a batch process. If you observe this green color, okay, let me see here. So what we need to do, we need to create a schedulers. It will run at 7 p.m. every day, 7 p.m. So you have to send the bank balance amount to individual customers. Okay, every day. Okay, every day or every 2 weeks or every 1 month. Okay, every month we are going to generate a bank statement, right? Same kind of thing. So here the requirement is suppose the customer has deposited 1,000 rupees today. At 7 p.m. you have to send an email to him like, okay, your total balance is 1,000 rupees. Tomorrow, suppose he added 5,000. Total how much it will be? 6,000. So every day at 7 p.m. you have to send an email to automatic emails. Okay, send an email to the particular customer so that he will check in the email. Okay, so my account balance is okay, this much, something will be like this. Okay, this is one of the requirement. So what you need to do, you need to read the data from Snowflake and here you have to add your functionality. Next, another requirement is like, okay, same thing, schedulers run at 9 p.m. Okay, so always it will run at 9 p.m. and you have to send the blocked cards. See, whatever it is blocked, right? Okay, suppose you have blocked, you can consider there is a HDFC bank. So today there are 7 cards, it is blocked. Those 7 cards details, you have to send it to vendor. So I think this part might be changed. Okay, you should not send it to the actual customer. So this one you have to send it to different owner. This part we need to change. Okay, so this is how. So once you discuss this design with customer or product owner, so once they are agree, okay, once they accept, then we need to go with this architecture. Otherwise, what we need to do, you have to modify the architecture also. Okay, sometimes what they will do, they will add some more features here. Okay, they don't want to run at 7 p.m. They want to run at 10 p.m. Okay, those changes and all, you have to take it and you have to note it down somewhere and you have to modify. So here clients want this block records. I mean, so who is the owner of HDFC? That guy wants to these 7 records, not individual persons. It's like not for the customers. Okay, the bank customers. So here this arrow, we need to change it. Okay, might be. So here there will be different system or different location. There you need to place it all those cards. There we need to place all those cards. Okay, this is one of the sample architecture, guys. Now, for this Snowflake also, we need to prepare data model. This data model and this architecture, those kind of things, going to take care architects. So this is the architecture work. Now, design and data model is done. Okay, see data model, it is assigned to Srikanth. So here what he will do, he will analyze and he will prepare the variables, whether it is okay or not. Just need to attach this into this user story. Okay, he will write a comments like, okay, please review with the data model whether it is fine or not. So what your product owner will do, so he is going to review, this, and so if everything is okay, then fine. If there are some changes, then you need to modify this. Okay, fine. Doing. So once everything is done, then we'll make the status as. Let me open this. Doing. Save. Next. Okay. So these guys are working. Now, in the meanwhile, so what developers and testers will do, there's a software installation. Okay. There is one more user story. Or once the sprint is started, then you can do that. Okay, that's also fine. Okay, now, so these two are working in a backlog, even though they are working in the background and they are updating the status here. They're updating the status. Now just observe. So what your Scrum Master will do. So once the BA is prepared, Scrum Master, they are going to sit and they will prepare the user stories like this. Okay, they are going to prepare the user stories like this. And in the backlog, they are going to assign the tasks. Okay, who is going to work what, something will be like this. Okay, so here everything I'm going to work, but simply I have given the names here. So based on this architecture, again there is one more thing. So based on this architecture, so how you will get to know what is the resource path and what is the input. Okay, these kind of things, again what your architect will do or technical lead will do, he is going to prepare these kind of things. Just observe this one. Design. Okay, this is called design. Again, create REST API for customer account creation. So as a developer, I want to design a RAML by using the below requirements. Okay, below requirements. See, if it is a new project, hardly it will take. Okay, hardly it will take at least 1 or 2 months to get your work. Okay, as a developer. Okay, but in that meanwhile, what you need to do, you have to understand your project documentation and what is the architecture, if it is an existing one. If it is a new one, then it will be fine. See, this everything architect is going to write it here. Okay, you need to use create account. You need to use post method. So these are the query parameters. Okay, the query parameter name is customer name, bank, type, branch name. Okay, again, in the body also you need to pass these values. Okay, and what is the sample response you may get. Okay, you have to write it like this. So what you will do based on this user story, okay, let me write it here one by one. Okay, so this is the design one, right? The design is already there. Just copy. Okay, first they will add all the user stories like this before going to sprint start. Before going to start a sprint, everything in new work item. I'll share you this Excel with you guys. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay. So we will do this work. Okay. So this work, your technical lead is going to prepare based on the architecture. Okay, based on the architecture, they are going to sit together, your architect and technical lead. So still we are in this phase only. So developer is not yet involved now. Okay, I mean the work. Sometimes you may get it. Okay, sometimes you may get a chance to decide these things, but mostly you won't get it. Okay, so they will prepare the user stories like this. Now just save it. Simply I'll write only 3 here. Enter the title. Get blocked parts. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can comment here. Okay. In the discussion part, you can comment. Now, just observe. Now I'll go to backlog. Now I'll go to backlog. So the sprint is not started. In the sprint planning, so again, the types of meetings, right? Backlog grooming will happen. Backlog grooming or refinement, backlog refinement sessions, refinement. Every 1 week. Okay, every 1 week or weekly once, you can call it as. Next. So this is very important, guys. Sprint planning 2 weeks once, because we have to complete the sprint, right? Okay. Next. Sprint demo also 2 weeks once, because once the sprint is done, it will go for a review or demo. So in between, we do have a daily scrum meetings. It will happen on daily for the 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes. Okay. 15 to 30 minutes it will happen. So rest all are everything it will be, it's like 1 hour. So finally it will be retrospective meetings. So this one also done. It will happen 2 weeks once. 2 weeks once. Now, in the backlog grooming, okay, in the backlog grooming session, just we have identified, okay, there are many user stories. There are many user stories, but the work is going on in the background. Okay, they are going to what they will do. See, in the backlog grooming itself, they will write this one, or they will take some time to add those details. Okay, based on the architecture. So this is assigned to it is not at assigned. Okay, fine. So these are all designed, right? Okay. So they will add the descriptions for everything. Okay, they will add the descriptions. So sometimes you need to add the descriptions, but so it is already done. So once the sprint is started, okay, once the sprint is started, so what you need to do? So here your Scrum Master. So who is our Scrum Master? Scrum Master is going to handle the team. Okay, Scrum Master is going to handle the team. So he is the one going to take care about scheduling the meetings, schedule meetings, and work progress. Or if you are facing any issues or blockers, he is going to take care about that. Okay, Scrum Master. Just to familiar, okay, just to familiar with these words. Okay, fine. In the backlog grooming, okay, now the backlog grooming is done. The backlog grooming is done. Okay, we have discussed about the requirements. Okay, we have discussed about each user story. Okay, what you need to do and what you are going to work, those kind of things. Next, the design also architect is explained. Okay, these two are okay. Still, it is doing state. Okay, it is not yet completed. Even though you need to start your work, just observe carefully here. So here I'm going to assign this task. Okay, with one person. So now still it is in to-do state only. So he or she is going to work. Okay, this is the story. Now I'll assign with different person names. Just observe here. So I want to move this user story. Okay, this is an high priority. First one is customer account creation. Okay, move iteration to current sprint. See, if you observe here, there is one user story in the current sprint. Next, deposit the amount and get blocked cards and unblocked cards. This is not an high priority. Okay, in the first sprint, we are going to decide this. Okay, design. So whatever it is required for, I'll write it here. I'll write it here. Okay, design is done. Where is the development? So just observe. So now, how many stories are here? 3, 6, 7. So out of 7, okay, sorry. There is the development. Okay, this is the development user story. This is the description, what you need to do. Based on this, we are going to develop our requirements. So this one I'm going to assign with, still it is not yet done. I'll assign with this guy. Suppose. Now, observe carefully. So if you observe here, we have a backlog. Backlog is nothing but it's like a pending items. Okay, all the requirements. Okay, all the requirements we are going to keep first in a backlog. From backlog, what we will do, we will take it to sprint. So once sprint is done, then we will close this. Okay, that's how it will work. Now I'll go to sprints here. See, out of 7 or 10 user stories, only 2 are high priority. Only 2 are high priority. No date set. Okay, sprint. When is sprint is going to start? I'll keep it today. So normally when sprint is going to end. Okay. See, normally it will start with Wednesday and it will close with Tuesdays. But here, anyway, so this is for testing purpose, right? So that is the reason. Just I'm going to give only 4 days. Okay. Next Wednesday I'll give. Okay. See, normally it should be 14 days. Normally it should be 14 days, but simply I have given some dummy dates. Okay, I want to start another sprint also. That is the reason. Okay, so first sprint. So in the first sprint, see, if you observe here, 4 work days are remaining. Within the 4 days, the team has to complete these user stories, whatever we have committed. Okay. So what will happen? So this one is done in the sprint planning meeting. So they will ask you, okay, whether you are okay with this user story. So what you need to do, just to open this one. So before assigning, so you have to read it out. I mean, so anyway, in the background also, you have an access for ADO. You will read all the user stories. In the sprint planning, just you have to decide which one you are going to work. Okay, how much effort it is required. So you have to give. Okay, so here it will be dev and QA effort. I mean, as a developer, you will say like, okay, 3 days, but as a tester, he or she need a 1 day time. Okay, so then they will go with the 3 or 5. Okay, so 3 days it is required. Is it necessary to see? If you give more points, they will ask you, so why you are choosing for 3 days? So in that time you need to explain, okay, it's a very complex work, I have to do or different kind of implementation, those kind of things you have to do. Okay, you have to tell them what is the issue, what is the complexity, those kind of things. But here, just observe here, as a developer, design I want to design RAML by using the below requirements. Just you need to prepare a RAML. That's it. Create account. Okay, this is your resource path. Method is the post. This is the query parameters. Customer name is there, bank is there, type is there, the parameters, everything it will be available. Then what you need to do? Just you need to log in into AnyPoint platform and you have to prepare this. For this, I'll keep it as 1 day effort. Okay, 1 day is enough for this. Okay, so that is the reason. Just I'll change it as 1 day. Okay, now we'll go to another user story. See, this is the development task. As a developer, I want to develop an API based on RAML, based on the below requirements. See, this is development user story. What you need to do, once the design is done, you need to import that RAML into AnyPoint Studio and you have to work this. Have the below check. See, before inserting a record, you have to check whether this record is available or not in the database. See, that's why. So first we are working on this requirement. So while creating a record, you have to understand whether that record is available or not. So if it is available, you need to say like, okay, account is already exist. It's like instead of duplicating, okay. So this is one of the requirement. Next, if deposit field is present, okay, see, if deposit field is present, insert the amount accordingly with the total balance, or else default value is 0. Transaction timestamp, okay, when the account is created. So those things and all you have to do that. Next, upon successful insertion, you need to send out an email. See, that's what we have discussed, right? So once the account is created, you need to send an automatic email. So that one is this part. Just you have to understand, okay? Just you have to understand all the requirements first before going to start your work. Just observe here. So In the automated email also, what they're expecting, congratulations, account is created. The email ID is sent in a body, your email ID here, congratulations, your account is created successfully with so-and-so account number with so-and-so bank. See here, there is one more requirement here. Create a JSON file and keep into Azure or FileZilla. Okay. So anyway, this part we will do it in another sprint, or we will take it as a later. Once the account is created, send out the response as mentioned in the RAML to the client. Okay. So you need to handle error handling also, implement at least 2 security policies, basic authentication, rate limiting policy. Okay. So these things and all you have to implement here. Next, create Azure repo and create CI/CD pipelines to deploy an application into Cloud Hub. See, these are the things you have to work on it. These are the things you have to work on it. So whatever you are working, whatever the work you have completed, you have to mention here. So that's what we are going to do. So now we picked 2 user stories. So even see, normally the sprint will be 14 days. 14 days it will be available. But simply I have given as only 4 days. So now we are in a sprint 1. In the sprint 1, we picked only 2 user stories. So as soon as, okay, there is one more user story I need to create. Okay. So you have joined this organization. Suppose you have joined into ViTech as a new employee. So what you need to do? So once you receive a laptop, you need to install all the software, right? For that also, you are going to create one more user story. Okay. You can create a user story for that software installation. Go to sprints, create an item. Okay. So this is applicable for everyone. Okay. This is applicable for everyone in the team. So what you need to do? You can create your own user story. If you want, you can assign. Okay. So the very first step, what you need to do, you are going to suppose currently you are working. Okay, I'll keep it as to do status only. I'll keep this Ravi, but this is applicable for everyone. Okay. Okay. These 2 persons only working, right? Okay. Now you can see there are 3 user stories. In these 3 user stories, the high priority task. Okay. How many days it will take? It will take 1 day. See, in the organizations, you no need to install anything. Suppose if you joined into any organization, some XYZ organization, there is a IT support team. IT support team. IT support team is there. You have to submit tickets. You have to raise the tickets saying like, okay, I need so and so softwares. I need so and so softwares. They are going to take care about. These guys are going to take care about. But here you need to install. Keep in mind. Okay. So once you joined into any organization, you don't have access to install some softwares. Okay. There are some softwares you can install it, but there are few you can't install. So in that case, what you need to do, you have to connect with whom you need to connect? IT support team. IT support team, they are going to help you. But here, what you need to do, see everything it is in a to-do state. So the sprint is going to start today onwards. Okay. Today itself, I'll change this name. Okay. You can consider only 2 persons are going to work with this sprint. Okay. Deepthi and Srikanth, suppose. So what is the user story? It is assigned. or Deepthi. The first one is software installation on local machines. So we have to install all these softwares. Okay. Next, there is another story. It's like develop REST API by using MuleSoft, right? Okay. In order to complete this requirement, this guy also has to install all the softwares, the required softwares. So he can also create his own user story. Okay. For software installation, let me create another user story. Or he can create the subtasks. So there is a column here. Okay, just there is a link. Okay, see, if you observe here, add an existing work or add a link here. So what they can do, they can add the people can add links over here. Add item or new item. Okay, the new item, the child. Okay, you are going to create software installation, software installation on my local system. See, now the color is changed. Software installation on my local. So every user story, there will be subtasks. Okay, I'll remove this one also, guys. I don't want to keep it here. Software installation on my local. So this is the description. So whatever it is required, what you will do, you are going to right. See, the very first step is we have to create user stories. On the below, you have to create subtasks. That's very important. Just observe here. Add link, new item, software installation on my local. Just observe here. So first one is design, right? So in order to design, what are the softwares it is required? Okay, what are the softwares it is required? In order to design, you need AnyPoint Platform, correct? AnyPoint Platform credentials. So if you join into some XYZ company, they are going to give you account username and password, but here you need to create your own. Okay, create AnyPoint Platform account. Next, install under client or Postman. So these two are enough. But as a developer, what you need to do? You have to install better. You have to install all these softwares. As a developer, I want to install below required softwares so that I can continue my work. So that I can continue my development process. See, this is one-time setup. So next sprint onwards, no need to install the softwares. Okay. So now here you need to create. Okay, one is software installation on local. Again, you need to create subtasks based on your user story. Based on your user story, add link, new item, task, develop, REST API, or what you can do, build, code build. Okay, code develop for the requirement. Code develop for the requirement. Now one subtask is done. Like this, you have to create some subtask. So once you develop the code, what you need to do? Create a repo. Create a repository in ADO. The repository in ADO and push the code or publish the code. Okay, this is another task. Add link here, new item, child, task. Okay, once you push the code, what you need to do? You can write, okay, you can add implement or else, okay, create CI/CD pipelines. See, as many you want, you can create the subtask, okay, for your understanding. You will go one by one, okay. Create CI/CD pipeline for the project. Next. So once you create, you will deploy into Cloud Hub, right? Okay, fine. I'll write the final task. Okay. Send emails are done. Okay. Implement that. Unit testing for the project. Implement munit. See, this is the actual story. This is an actual story. So under this, how many tasks? Okay. First one is software installation. One is for code develop. Create a repository and code push. Create CI/CD pipelines. Okay. Next one is unit testing for the project. So this is how we will create, guys, in the real time also. So this is actual story. This is the requirement. So you will go one by one. Okay. Whatever you are working, you will change it to, doing. Okay. I'll show you. So once you pick the user stories, okay, let me write it here. Developer. Okay. Developer, create technical user stories or subtask. Subtask. Developer or QA, both. Okay. What they will do? They will create technical user stories or subtasks. So how to create subtask? You have already know. Okay. Now I'll create subtask for this also. Deepti. Okay. So what she is going to do? So she need to develop API, right? Okay. Sorry, design the API. So first step is software installation. Okay, that's fine. Next, related work. Add link here. New item. Design RAML specification. Specification and publish. Publish into Exchange. Okay, that's it. So here, this is design task. That is the reason you can see only two subtasks. One is for software installation, one is for design the RAM. Okay. So here, if you observe, this is for development task. While developing, many things it is required. Okay. So here, so in order to connect, right? In order to connect with the database. So if you want, you can create one more task. I need Snowflake account or Snowflake. Okay, need to create a Snowflake. It is okay. Let me add. So for the first time, right? Okay. Or else I can create another user story also. So that is up to me. Okay. So this is the user story. So under this user story, we have subtasks. So every user story contains subtasks. Okay, while developing. Okay. Let's assume. Let's assume I'm going to first work on this design. Then we'll go for development. So once the work is started, what you need to do, you need to change the status so that your team or your scrum master will get to know you are working on this task. You are working on this task. Next, software installation on local. Okay. In order to install the softwares, okay, you have to raise the, it's also doing. So what you will do, okay, I have created a ticket for IT support team. IT support team. Okay, I have created a ticket for IT support team. You will mention some number. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for software installation. So every day, so whatever the actions you are doing, you have to implement here. Okay, you have to update here so that you will get to know. See, here I have updated, right? Okay, VA technologies is commented out. So that is the reason I can see my name here. But in your case, anyway, I have given the access to you. Okay, what you need to do, just you can update the comments later. Okay, once you have installed or if you created all the softwares. So in order to, so this is for everyone, guys. Okay, simply I have given two names here. So whatever the work, okay, I'm explaining in a day-to-day class, you have to practice in your own laptop. Then only you will get an hands-on. Otherwise, it's a waste. Okay. So what I will do, I'll ask you to share your screen sometimes. Okay. After 2 days or 3 days. So whatever you are progressing, I want to see. So better, I'll give you the recording. You can go to our YouTube channel. Okay. You can go to our YouTube channel, or else you can go to your classroom notes. Type ViTech Talks. If you go to playlist, so here you can able to see MuleSoft real-time project. Okay, MuleSoft real-time project. MuleSoft real-time project. Okay. So here you can able to see all the sessions for your practicing purpose. Okay. Next thing is, so what you need to do, you have to install all the softwares. In order to install all the softwares, I think most of the guys were already installed, but in order to install all the softwares, I'll give you the link, playlist, CI/CD setup. So, okay, yes, this one is the link. Okay, I'll attach here also. I'll attach in order to install the softwares. Follow this video. Install all the software. So meanwhile, what this guy also will do, okay. So as soon as the sprint is started, let's make it as doing. Let's make it as doing. So software installation on local. Okay, software installation on local. Doing this also doing. So refer this to install all the required software. So here, okay, there is one more point. Correct. So if you observe here we don't require the GitHub account. Anyway, we have created the Microsoft account. So not required Jenkins also. Not required Jenkins. Okay. These are the things you have to do it. Okay. I'll copy paste this one. Or I'll give you this link directly in the classroom notes. Install softwares. Okay. This is done. In the background, okay, I have assigned this task with a Deepthi and this one is Srikanth. So what you guys need to do, just to go through this. Okay, just to go through this and understand the requirements first. And to design the task, right? Okay, what you can do, you can create AnyPoint Platform account and you can design this. You can design, okay, you can design. And if you want, you can share the code here or what you can do, okay, you can publish into GitHub or somewhere and you can give me the link or you can send an email to me. Okay, that is also fine. So this is for everyone, guys, not only for one person. I'll share this document also. Okay, I'm going to share this document. So based on this documentation, so this is our first task. Simply I have given the names, but what you can do, this is our first task. You have to complete the design. Then we'll go for the development. So how the actual work is going to do. So based on the subtask. See here you will get to know. Okay, I'll go to boards. I'll go to boards. If I go to sprints, okay, click on the sprints. There are two user stories. Okay, there are two user stories. I can see, okay, this guy is working on this user story and this user story. So whatever it is doing, it's like in progress. Whatever it is doing, it is like in progress. It's like in progress. Okay. Rest to do has to work. Okay. To do has to work. So if we have any doubts or something, what we will do, just we will update the comments here. Okay. You can update the comment. So what I will do, I will take on right. Okay. I'll mention here. Please follow the link and install required softwares. So what will happen? Automatically the mail will get generated. The mail will get generated with the corresponding person. Okay. So what he will do, he will go to this link and he will install. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, if you have some doubts related to requirement or if you are facing something, some issues or something, you have to post it here so that the team will get tracked. Okay, the team is going to track your requirements. So mainly Scrum Master, but everyone can see. Okay, everyone can see what you are working. So that's where the Azale become popular. It's like a fast delivery. Okay. So now there are two tasks. So what you need to do, you can try to design first. Okay. You can try it in your own mission. Anyway, I'm going to explain in a tomorrow's class. So like this, you have to create. Okay. See the same way you can also create. See whatever I'm doing in my board, right? ADO board, you have to do like this and assign with your name itself. Okay. Assign with your name. See whatever I have given the names, right? Okay. These guys, what you can do, just update your comments. Okay. Once you install all the softwares, take your snapshot. Okay. Take the snap of and you can provide here or just you can update the comments. Okay, I have installed all the softwares. I'm going to close the task. Okay, so once it is done, what you can do, you have to make it as done. You have to make it as done. Then once you design raml, okay, before going to work, just make the status as doing, make the status as doing, and you can update the comments here, or you can update the directly comments in here itself. Better, you can update the comments even in the task, okay, even in the task, as well as main user story. See, in this task, nothing will be there. I mean, it is empty. So you can consider, see, main heading, design raml specification and publish into Exchange. So what to design? Based on this user story, you have to design. Okay. Just try to practice this one. Just familiar with this ADO board. Okay. Be familiar with this ADO board. So everything I'm explaining in a real time only. Okay. So the same work you are going to do if you join in any organization. Okay. So there might be some different, like, okay, they are going to use Jira board for tracking purpose. So they are also same only. Okay. User stories and subtasks. The look and feel will be different, but the work is same. The work is same. Now we are in a sprint 1. Okay. Now we are in a sprint 1 and we are working on 2 tasks. So everyone has to install softwares based on this video. Okay. Based on this video, just install all the softwares and create all the subtasks and user stories and complete the design. Okay. Whatever it is possible. See, even one more thing. Suppose you don't know. Okay. You may get a doubt. You may get a doubt how to. Okay, I'll show you here. Should be one of enum values. Okay, should be one of enum values. So what you can do, just go to Google and type raml example. Okay, raml enum example. So there are many links it will come. Okay, there are many things it will come. Here you can verify. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can Google it. That's not a problem at all. But you have to complete your task even in real time also. Okay, no need to remember pin to pin, but you have to know where to use what. Okay, what is resource path, what is get method, what is post method, what is examples, what is response codes. These things and all you have to remember. Okay, what is query parameter? See, there are also post method and query parameters is there. So here we have one query parameter. So the same way you can replace it. Just you can do copy paste, but based on your requirement, you have to accommodate all the values. That's what you can do. Okay, anyway, going forward, you will get to know how to copy paste also. I'll show you. Okay, but try to understand the requirements before taking the task or before working on it. Yes, that's it for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Even in Telugu also fine. If you want to speak. See, I think moreover, it is a design kind of thing only. Today only we have started the sprint. I mean, the work we have started. Going forward, you will get to know the doubts. Okay, how we are going to work in real time. Okay.
యా బ్రో, ఒకసారి వర్క్ కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత ఆ స్నాప్స్ అనేవి దీంట్లో ఎలా సెండ్ చేయాలి బ్రో? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక రెస్ట్ ఏపీ కస్టమర్ అకౌంట్ ఉంది కదా, సో ఇది AnyPoint ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో చేస్తాం కదా,
Yes.
అది క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత పబ్లిష్ చేస్తాం కదా, దాన్ని ఎలా షేర్ చేస్తారు బ్రదర్? ఇక్కడి నుంచి అక్కడికి
Just take a
స్నాప్
snap.
మాత్రమే చేస్తారా?
Just take a snap as of now. Just
ఓకే
take a snap as of.
ఓకే బ్రో.
You can publish into Exchange. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll
ఓకే
tell you.
ఓకే బ్రో.
As of now, you can just share me the snap. So how we have done in a backlog. Design architecture. See here how I have done the same way. Just you can send me snaps. I'll tell you how to create repos and how to publish. That I will tell you later. Okay. See here we do have an option called repos. So here you can create the repos and you can import. Okay. You can save your code into repos. That I will tell you. See now our board is full. Okay. Go to backlog capacity. Yeah. Here also they will add the capacity. Okay. Who is going to work what? Okay. How many days you are going to take a leave? Here we are going to add the team. Okay. They are going to add the team here. The scrum master is going to take care about that one. Okay. Don't worry about that. See how the work is going to progress. Okay. So here we have analysis. Okay. How much we have completed. So the graph will come here. Okay. But main, you can concentrate on your work. Don't worry about this capacity and analytics and those kind of things. Go to your task board or go to your backlog. Okay. Go to a sprint. So this is your sprint. Open this one. Okay. And try to understand the requirement and work on this. If you complete for one sprint or two sprints, then you will get to know, okay, how it is working in a real time and what is the work we are doing. See, this is applicable for not only MuleSoft developers, so it will be applicable for everyone. Even if you take any technology, so nowadays we are adopting Agile. So as part of Agile, uh, first they will create user stories. On top of this, you need to create technical user stories on subtasks. So this way you won't forget, right? I mean, this way you won't forget what work you need to do. So once this is done, you will mark it as done. Okay. Once this is done, you are going to mark it as done so that it will get tracked after some days. I mean, after 6 months or 1 year, if you want to see what is the work you have done. Okay. So everything we can track it here. So that is the reason here there is no more documentation. Everything over in a ADO. We are going to create stories under task. That's how it will work. Okay, it's already late. That's it for today's. We'll see you in the tomorrow's class.